Eat like a caveman. We want to be lean and jacked. What better example do we have than our boy Noon Talk here? This dude lives off of meat and the occasional honey he finds. His wife might bring him some fruit or berries that she picked in the wild, and this dude eats whatever he wants, whenever he wants. But the only food that is available to him is meat, honey, fruit, and berries. Noon Talk, our caveman, doesn't have access to seed oil soaked Pringles and hydrogenated oils in the Oreos that poison us on a daily basis and destroy our testosterone. So Noon Talk doesn't get fat. The only thing he gains is muscle and testosterone because his body is programmed to hunt and kill for his food. While we might not have to hunt and kill for our food nowadays, we can still achieve a lot of the characteristics that our boy Noon Talk has. If your goal is to be lean, muscular, and more importantly, full of testosterone and vitality, your goal should be to eat as close to what Noon Talk eats as you can. So I'm going to introduce you to the 3 pillars of eating like a caveman. These are going to help you stay lean, gain muscle, and improve your mental state. Pillar numero uno, and probably the most important pillar of this whole video. Actually, that's probably number 3. But pillar number 1 is base your diet around red meat. Red meat is a performance-enhancing drug. When we eat red meat, it tells our body that we are a good hunter. This signals to our body that we don't need to store fat because we can get food whenever we want. I don't care what anybody tells you about calories in versus calories out. If you were to only eat red meat, you would not put on fat. Red meat increases testosterone and steroid hormones in the body, as well as gives your body the protein it needs to pack on lean muscle. Eat as much red meat as you want. Pillar number 2, do not overconsume carbohydrates. This video is not about the carnivore diet. I'm not saying the only thing that you can eat is red meat, although it's not a bad idea. Carbs can have a benefit to your performance too, but the amount and the type of carb is what matters. Overeating carbs is what causes you to become fat, and I'm sure none of you want to become fat. But when we use carbs to boost performance and time it correctly, it's a different story. You might be asking, what carbs should you eat? Well, just like Noon Talk, we should stick to fruit and honey. These are clean carbs and won't mess with your gut health and metabolism like carbs such as wheat and grains are going to. We want to make sure that we're timing our carbs before a workout. For example, I hit a lift the other day. Before I started my workout, I ate 5 mini oranges, some dark chocolate, and 2 tablespoons of honey. This gave me an insane pump and clean fuel for my body to use during that training session. I can assure you that none of that dark chocolate, fruit, or honey was stored as fat on my body. This is because I used it as fuel immediately. I timed it directly before my workout. Now, most of you are going to eat carbs at some point and overeat carbs at some point. It's important to know what to do when this happens. Say you overate a bunch of carbs today. The next day, it's a good idea to do a fast for the whole day and let your body clear those carbs from your system and use them as fuel. We do not want to overfill the tank with carbs. This is going to cause you to become fat. Pillar number 3, and probably the most important on this list, is eliminate processed foods. One thing that our boy Noon Talk does not eat is processed foods. Honestly, if our dude had access to them, he probably would. But the point is, he doesn't. Processed foods are full of chemicals and compounds that have havoc-wreaking effects on our hormones, mental state, mind, body, everything. This is not new information, but most people don't know exactly how bad this stuff really is for you. Any food that comes in a pre-made package is going to contribute to giving you depression, anxiety, lower sex drive, and mood disorders. This makes it hard to maintain a high level of motivation. The number 1 reason that processed food causes these issues is because it lowers your testosterone level. It does this through seed oils, toxic chemicals like food colorings, soy, and a host of other ingredients that ruin your hormonal system and cause your brain to leave the chat. To keep this short, you need to cook your own food. This is one of the biggest blocks in people's way when it comes to being healthy. They don't want to cook. And they don't want to cook because they're lazy, and they're lazy because of the processed food that they eat. You just need to say F it and start cooking. If you don't know how, there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube. I literally learned how to cook a steak off of YouTube. The benefits that you're gonna get from cooking your own food is worth the 5-minute tutorial that you're gonna watch and the 10 minutes that it takes to actually cook a steak. Stop eating things that are designed to destroy your health. Noon Talk eats intuitively. This is something that you have to develop over time. Knowing what to eat and when to eat is a skill, and it will come the more you get to know your body and pay attention to how different foods make you feel. The processed food that you've been eating over the years has created metabolic disorders and a disconnect between your mind and body. It has been slowly poisoning you, and it is your job to take your personal health into your own hands. Become like Noon Talk. Train hard, eat red meat, eat clean carbs, fast often, and don't eat processed food. You do these things and your physique is going to show it. And the mental health benefits alone are going to be worth it. Your testosterone is going to rise, your body will heal itself, your mind will work better than it ever has. Listen to your body. I wish all of you the best. I wish all of you a great physique. I wish all of you to be healthy and happy. And as always, boys, in a world full of don'ters, be a doer.